rights to Laura. And
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's PD Coordinators webinar. I'm Laura Greer, and I'm going to be the presenter today. I am the manager of PD Logistics here at TCOL. So let's take a look. Our agenda for today, we have a whole slew of announcements that we're going to go over here at the beginning. We will touch base on some Standards 2.0 information, and then we're going to wrap up today's webinar with some PD portal updates. I believe the first slide today goes to Paula. Paula, take it away.
thank you, Laura. We have two remaining literacy symposiums for the 2018-2019 year. We'll have one tomorrow in West Texas out in El Paso, and we'll have the Gulf Coast in Pearland about 2 weeks from now on a Saturday, the 27th of April. And we are still accepting applications or proposals for the Literacy Texas 2019 conference. So if you have a proposal, we're going to put the link in the little chat pod, and you can submit a proposal for that 3-day conference. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Paula. Next, we have a slide for Olga, but today Krista is going to be reading the slides on behalf of Olga, who is traveling at this moment.
Okay. So this announcement is for the Texas Workforce Commission and Workforce Forum. That is next week. No, in 2 weeks, excuse me. April 24th is the business meeting. And so if you need to still register, there's a link, and I'll put that in the chat pod as well for the registration link. The hotel room block at the Sheraton is full, but there are some overflow hotels available, and I will also put that number to call if you need information about the rooms.
Thank you, Krista.
Yep.
Our next two slides are for Anne Marie, but again, Anne Marie is also traveling this afternoon, so I will be sharing this information for her. Our upcoming Tech Intel webinar is with presenter Sarah Davila, and this is part 3 of a 3-part series on 21st century learning. As a reminder, Tech Intels are always on Fridays from 11:30 to 12:30, and then also the webinars for May and June are under development. Please be aware that Anne Marie says there will probably only be one webinar, Tech Intel webinar in May. But as soon as that information is released, we will definitely let you guys know. The next one is also about Tech Intels, and Anne Marie wanted to remind everyone that Sarah Davila has previously presented 2 Tech Intels for us that focus on differentiated instruction and the global scale of English. These webinars are an excellent precursor to the webinars on 21st century skills. Anne Marie suggests that you might want to assign your teachers to attend all 5 of the webinars together once they're in the PD portal for 5 hours of literacy credit. As a follow-up to Anne Marie's suggestion, just on behalf of the post-production team, I wanted to mention that when there is a multi-part webinar, such as this one, Differentiated Instruction Part 1 and Part 2, or 21st Century Skills Part 1, 2, and 3, what we'll do is we'll wait and we'll release them all together when they've been put through the post-production process and are fully accessible. So going back to the 21st Century Learning one, for instance, we will wait until the 3rd one is done. We'll put it through post-production, and we'll release all 3 together, probably mid to end of May. Our next slide is Olga's information, and again, Krista will be presenting.
All right. This is for our Texas AEL Manager Monday. Next week, April 15th, we are having one with great funding comes great responsibility. This is going to be information about budgeting annually and monthly braiding funds, leveraging local resources, and reporting true payroll allocations. And you just register through the portal. So it sounds, then it's Monday, April 15th from 12 to 1. And then the next one is the Workforce Wednesday webinar, which is on April 17th. They don't normally go in the same week, but this week we do. So April 17th from 12:30 to 1:30 is our Workforce webinar. Workforce Wednesday, as Christopher Sheffield will discuss the advantages and rationale behind implementing an on-ramp course for participants who plan to enter workforce training. Included in the discussion will be a review of current policy and guidance from TWC AEL letters, suggestions for curriculum choice to incorporate workforce literacy, and program design, and how this model benefits us as adult education and literacy providers.
Thank you, Krista.
Oh.
Next up, we have Glenda, who's going to talk about our upcoming DLTI symposium.
Hi, everybody. This is Glenda. I am so happy to say we are getting ramped up for the 4th annual Tech and DL Symposium on May 10th at Region 20 in San Antonio. So if you have people who are interested in either distance learning or technology integration in the classroom or both, they should go ahead and register in the PD portal. I've had some crazy questions like how much does it cost? This is a free one-day symposium. We have some fabulous national speakers coming out. We have people from World Ed coming. We have people from Links coming with some interesting, yes, we love free, interesting topics. Plus our distance learning approved curricula people are going to be coming, and they're going to have sessions so that you can get some in-depth training on those curricula if you would like. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me at glenda.rose@tamu.edu.
Great. Glenda,
Well,
you've got...
Laura, we
Yes?
need to go back one slide for the Stakeholder Integration Virtual Conference.
Did I skip?
Yeah.
I did. Okay. Krista, go ahead and take this one, and then Glenda, you've got 2 more after this. Sorry about
Okay.
that, guys.
Actually, I was going to say, Deb, would you like to take this one?
I'd be more than happy to. Thank you. Hi, everyone. If you weren't on the director call this morning, we talked a little bit about the Stakeholder Integration Virtual Conference. We did this last year. There are 3 one-hour sessions from 1 to 4:30 on May 1st and May 2nd. We've got folks that are sharing their perspectives as a new director and developing relationships. We're talking about community action, for example. Doug Mudd is going to be talking about how he developed his partnerships. Linda Webb will be talking about how she's established the relationships between Midland College and her workforce board. Denise Oran from San Jacinto College is going to be talking about her best practices and how she set up a successful partnership with various departments at San Jac College. There are a number of really good sessions that are going to be happening on May 1st and May 2nd. So if you know that your program is looking to increase your partnerships, your stakeholder partnerships, ways to get into those IET programs, please consider having someone on your team, a few people on your team, sign up for the Stakeholder Integration Virtual Conference. The registration is available in the portal through the training calendar. Just wanted to make sure we didn't oversee that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Deb. Sorry about that. I think I clicked too fast. All right. So, Glenda, you've got 2 more now about the X-Prize competition.
So another entity that will be at the Tech and DL Symposium are the X-Prize, or 3 of the X-Prize app representatives. The X-Prize app competition developed applications for adults with literacy needs. And there are 4 that are finalists, and these 4 are now in what's called the Communities Competition. Texas as a state is aligned with World Ed. You may have seen announcements from other organizations. Thank you for putting the World Ed X-Prize website in the chat box for us. It has a lot of resources, things you can give learners, things you can give staff. So what I want you to know is what happens whether or not individuals are in your program. You can give them the information about these apps, and they can figure out which one works well for them, log in using that code for a free sample, and then we get credit as a team for those downloads. So if they download it and they use it in 3 consecutive days, is that right, John? Then they are considered a successful user of the app. I will tell you, I have tried 3 of the apps, and they are all pretty good. CellEd is one of the apps, and CellEd is an approved distance learning curriculum. So basically, if you set it up with them, you're getting a free trial of the CellEd that you can use, which is all phone-based, not even smartphone-based, just regular old phone-based with text capabilities. And so I really strongly suggest that you check out the website and find out more about that XPRIZE competition. You can use it as a recruitment tool. You can use it for your existing students. You can use it with workforce. So check it out and let me know if you have any questions. Or John Stevenson is in this very heavily, so if you have any questions, one of us can answer that for you.
And can I also say, Glenda, I brought up on the call this morning, yes, you're right. In order to get credit for the participant, they have to use it 3 times on 3 different days. And we're anxious to give our participants the opportunity to use this and just to kind of ramp up the use of cell phone technology, as an important tool in literacy instruction. But the way the competition works, in order to get you have to be in the competition in order to give access to the students to these cell phones. So we do have some competitors that are working also in Texas. One of them is COABE is working with Tyson's Foods, and so they will have a different code. We don't really care if your students go with them or go with us. We just, our main goal is to increase the use of this kind of technology in adult education instruction. So go forth, please, and take advantage of this opportunity. It will be available to our students until August 31st.
Okay, and along those lines, thank you, John, for that clarification. It is about getting as many students or learners who have those needs with these apps that can help them as possible. There is a webinar tomorrow from 1 to 2 p.m. Central Time, and they're going to talk about, the developers and practitioner presenters are going to talk about the apps and how they have been used and to what effect. So if you have more questions, questions about the XPRIZE, check out that webinar tomorrow.
All right, thank you, Glenda. We now have 2 slides on behalf of Anne Marie about Standards 2.0. This is an important reminder that the accessible version of the Standards 2.0 document is downloadable from the homepage of the TCAL website on that flyby banner down there at the bottom where the yellow arrow is pointing. So that banner will change. You can see on the picture the number 1 is bold. So if you go to that banner, you can click on the number 1 and it should show you that particular banner. This document is also available by going to the Teacher Resources page on the TCAL website and clicking on the button that says Standards 2.0. This will take you to the Standards 2.0 page, which has more information about the Standards 2.0 document and other national standards. An update on the regional trainings that are happening right now. The Standards 2.0 webinar is available for original nominees selected by the directors and will be attending the Regional Standards 2.0 training. So this webinar originally happened this past Friday, and 2 Fridays ago. I believe it was March 29th, and so if any of your nominated participants missed it and would like to view this before attending one of the regional trainings, it is available in the portal. If participants participated in the live webinar and have already received their 1 hour of Literacy PD credit for attending, they will not receive credit for viewing the recorded webinar as well. And then one more slide about Standards 2.0. The regional trainings are available to those participants originally nominated by their directors to attend. The regional trainings are a continuation of the content learned at the introductory training at the TALE pre-conference. Participants who attend will leave the training with training content ready to share with their colleagues back at their local programs. Registration for each of these sessions is limited to 40 seats. Registration is available in the portal. And I will say I checked the registration numbers this morning. There is room left in each of these sessions so far. As of right now, the fullest session is Dallas on May 3rd. There's only 11 seats left open in that one. The rest of the sessions all have 20 or more seats available. And again, if you want to register for any of these, please go take a look for them in the PD portal. At this time, I'll take a pause, and if you have questions, you're welcome to unmute yourself and ask or type them into the chat pod.
I'm going to jump in here really quickly because I forgot to put something in the slides.
Okay.
So let me ask first, if you can raise your virtual hand, if you have staff members who still need Principles of Adult Learning PD hours. I can't see the hands because I'm a participant. Do we have anybody who...
I see 2 hands so far, 3, 4, 5.
Yes, answering in chat too. Okay, great.
Yep.
Okay, so I had heard from a couple of people that was the case, and so I am going to offer the 1.5 hour webinars, Principles of Adult Learning. One of them is on self-directed learners, and one of them is on transformational learning on Tuesday, April 30th. So those two will be from 9 to 12. They don't have to take the whole 3 hours. It'll be 1.5 and 1.5. And then again on Saturday, May 4th for 1.5 and 1.5. So if you have people who are short 2 hours or an hour, they can come into one of those webinars. These are not recorded webinars because they're not webinars in the sense of us sharing information. They are very much interactive online workshops. So they do have to come to the actual time to participate in order to get credit. But I'll get those into the PD portal tomorrow and send out an announcement so that you guys have the information.
Excellent. Thank you, Glenda. I realized this afternoon that slide didn't make it into the slide deck. Are there any other questions or comments thus far? Rachel, I'm not sure I understand your comment. Do you have a question? Will it be sent to us again? Yes. So this webinar is put on the PD Coordinator's Community of Practice, typically either the Friday or Monday after it occurs. So give us a day or so to get it pulled down and processed, and then we will put it on the PD Coordinator's Community of Practice. I'll feature the post so everyone will receive an email when it does become available. Okay, we're going to move along. Oh, hold on. Leslie asks Glenda, what are the times for the training for PAL on the 30th and May 4th? Can you repeat those times, please?
Sure. Both of them are going to be 9 to 12. So essentially it'll be 9 to 10:30 and then 10:30 to 12 on both days. So I did the one during the week and then one on Saturday for the teachers who can't join during the week.
We might want to send something out to the PD coordinator listserv just so they'll have a copy of it. Glenda.
Right, that's what I said. Since I get
Okay.
the PD portal, I'll put an announcement out
Yeah,
probably
perfect.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
All righty. So we are moving now into PD portal announcements. These next 2 slides are mine, and they are reminders and updates about some reports that are available to everyone. Well, not everyone, PD coordinators in the portal. So one of the reports that is available for each grantee in the portal are transcript reports. When you go to custom reports, you are going to look for a report that starts with the title AEL Grantee Transcript Report. The only one you should see would then end with your program name. These reports are going to tell you what TCAL professional development each of your staff members has completed in the PD portal for this program year. You'll be able to view the training title, date of completion, number of hours, and PD categories that folks have completed. So again, that's only PD portal stuff. If you've had local training or they've taken webinars with links, that sort of thing outside of the portal, it's not going to be on this report. Around this time last year when all of these reports were created and shared out, I did an hour-long webinar that went into pretty deep detail about how to run the report, export it into Excel, filter, sort your data, that sort of thing. This full-length webinar is available in the PD Coordinators Community of Practice in the PD Coordinator Meetings folder. If you don't have an hour, because I know we're all just bursting at the seams with time, if you don't have an hour to watch a webinar, there is a shorter video. It's about 10 minutes long. It goes a little bit more directly step by step, a little less into depth of how to utilize this report. And that can be found in the PD Coordinators Community of Practice in the How Do I Requests folder. If you have questions about this report, if you go look in your custom reports and you find that you don't have access to it, if you have someone in your program who also needs access to it, just shoot me an email and I will be more than happy to get that report to the right person. The next report that I wanted to bring to everyone's attention is a Curricula PD Categories report. As end of program year has started to pop up more and more on people's radar right now, we at the PD portal are starting to get more emails and calls with questions like, I need 3 hours of lit. What do I take? So in general, we don't make course recommendations. We'll typically direct them back to their PD coordinator in terms of specific course recommendations. But to help you guys out with this, I thought it might be beneficial if you had a report that tells you the name of our titles, name of our online courses, the PD category, the PD hours, and then the descriptions. So you kind of have that information at your fingertips to make those recommendations if you need it. You'll see at the top of this slide the path for how to get there. You're going to go to your communities, PD coordinators, general comments and questions topic folder, and then the post is actually called PD categories report. Between the transcript report and the PD categories report, we're really hopeful that you will find these helpful as June 30th approaches. And I say it all the time, but I'll say it again. If there's anything PD portal related that we can help with, you are more than welcome to give Katie or I a call or email us or send an email to pdportal@tamu.edu. Our next couple of slides are going to be Katie, our PD portal coordinator, and she's going to start with talking about our newly released webinars.
Howdy. We have a total of 4 new webinars that have been published into the PD portal recently. Tech and Tell, This Isn't Your Dad's History Lesson, Part 1, 2, and 3, with Shelly Severs from Northeast ISD in San Antonio. This is now available. Reminder that these are 3 individual courses I've just mentioned. Workforce Wednesday, Using Canva in Your AEL Program, Classroom and Beyond with Cheryl Smith from Howard College, Concho Valley, and San Angelo is also available. And if you need help searching for these, please let us know how we can assist. This is just a reminder about our new Contact Us page. If you're having trouble with the course or running into any issues in the PD portal, we ask that you please use these steps to get help. It's just another way that we can assist you. How you do this is you hover over the Help tab and then select Contact Us as a menu option. Then once you fill out the form and submit it, an email is sent directly to the PD portal, and we get back to you fairly quickly by answering your questions or concerns. This new system allows us to efficiently track courses that seem to be having issues, so we can continue to make improvements. It also provides us guidance so we're able to support you while navigating the PD portal.
Great. Thank you so much, Katie. Katie has been just a tremendous help. She joined our team, and we've really kind of been able to up our game with post-production and customer service. We're really happy to have her. Let's go to the next slide. Glenda is going to provide us with an update on DL Academy Part 1.
So speaking of courses that had problems, DL Academy Part 1 had to come down for a while, and I'm sorry it's been down as long as it has, but it's taken a little longer than we anticipated to get it tweaked and also to get it beta tested and accessible and back up. But, God willing, we will have it up Monday or Tuesday next week. The other part of this is there was a request from the field to decrease the number of hours required to get someone on your staff started in distance learning. Currently, it was requiring 6 hours of DL Academy 1 and 10 hours of DL Academy 3. So I have cut DL Academy 1, with John's blessing, down to 3 hours. In order to do that, I had to take out a lot of the follow-up information that would be covered in DL Academy 3 anyway, as well as a lot of the Teams information that a lot of the participants in Distance Learning Academy 1 really didn't need because they weren't accessing Teams. So that said, if someone is in distance learning and is entering data or is using the reports for Teams, there will be a subsequent course called DLN Teams that we're going to highly recommend that they take. So again, DL Academy Part 1 has been reduced from 6 hours to 3 hours, and it will require anybody with Teams, who needs Teams information about distance learning, to take an additional course. And we will also be cutting down DL Academy Part 3. It's on our agenda, but I wouldn't look for it before the next program year.
Great. Thank you, Glenda. Katie is going to come back. She's got one more slide here. No, she's got 2 more slides, I believe it is, and she's going to start with Learner Home.
All right, this is just a reminder. PD coordinators, you have access to Learner Home in the PD portal. You can access Learner Home by hovering over the My Learning tab and then clicking on Learner Home. If for some reason you notice that you don't have access, please email us at pdportal@tamu.edu and we can make sure that you get access to that. When you visit Learner Home for the first time, you will see a banner that prompts you to customize your subjects. Last month, we indicated that you should add your subjects. However, we have a change of instructions here. If you've already added your subjects, that's fine. But if you have not done so, please just X out in the upper right-hand corner. The subjects are now under construction, so we are directing you to do this later. After you X out of the subject screen, a scrolling banner with links to the other PD portal pages will appear in place of that subject's banner. We ask and we beg that you please take some time and explore Learner Home. We really want as much feedback as possible, positive and negative, good and bad. This all provides us information to help make that smooth transition. To provide us feedback, you're going to click on the scrolling banner that says Learner Home Feedback Form, and there's a picture there up on the screen for you. This is also just a reminder that we hold office hours specific to the PD portal every Thursday at 11 a.m. until 11:30. You can come with questions and we spend time answering them for you. If you are interested in attending, please email the PD portal and we will send you a link to the WebEx meeting. Please note that PD hours are not awarded for this technical assistance. We can also be reached at 1-800-441-7323 if you prefer calling. This phone line is monitored Monday through Friday between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m.
Thank you, Katie. We've got one more slide here, and then we'll open the floor up for questions. Please mark your calendar for our upcoming PD coordinator webinars. Our next one in May is on May 16th at 2 p.m. Central. And please note that this is a change from our regular second Thursday. And then after that, we have June 13th at 2 p.m. Central Time as well. Our final slide, questions. So we covered a lot today. If you have had questions that you've thought of, please go ahead, type them into the chat pod, or you can unmute yourself and just go ahead and holler out what you want to ask us. Alrighty, well, I'm not seeing anything come in, so we will go ahead. No questions from Lorraine. Huge thank you. Yes, Rachel Zazzetti, please give us a call. We'll be happy to help. For everyone else, that concludes our presentation. We want to thank you for taking a little bit of time out of your day to join us and get some important information and important updates. Again, I will be pulling down the recording and processing it, and I'll get it into the PD Coordinators Community of Practice either sometime tomorrow or sometime Monday, and I will feature the post. So you should get an email alert when it's available if you need to go back and review any of this information. I will keep the room open for a few more minutes, just if anyone wants to linger and ask some questions, we'll be here. But other than that, we are done. Y'all have a fantastic afternoon, and we will see you next month. Bye.